I talk, you listen. Welcome to my one-man panel of madness.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Geo Who, and I'm very excited this week because October 21st is a very important day, and probably the only time I'll be watching ESPN, and that is because we are getting the final trailer to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Actually, that's not the first time I've ever watched ESPN, but anyways, it's just exciting because, there's two things I'm talking about this week, but that's the main one, because this is the one trailer that I will skip. Usually a teaser and maybe the shorter trailer that doesn't give too much, I watch. But I'm really annoyed by spoilers. And nowadays, Hollywood has gone into this thing of producing trailers that are nothing more than the whole movie. And they leave very little for you to discover during the actual movie. So I tend to just watch the teaser and the first trailer, which is usually about a minute long. And I've done this with every Star Wars movie that has come, the last two, specifically. I've only watched the teaser and then just the trailer that comes after that. Usually the third trailer I avoid like the plague, because it usually gives too much, and already there's been so many rumors, and so much leaked footage, apparently. I've seen, at least this week alone, 3 different sites stating that there's leaked some photo of some kiss that I don't know about and I don't want to know about, as well as some other information that's been leaked out. Some information, I think it was like a synopsis that got leaked out that had some information. So I avoid it, but it always pops up on my browser anyways, but I just avoid it. But I'm excited because I will have other people watch the trailer for me, and then they will decide whether or not I should go ahead and watch it. I'm actually excited because I kind of want to watch it. It's the last one. I'm that generation that grew up with Star Wars. My mom tells this story to everyone. I was pretty much in her belly still when she saw the first one. And because by the time it came out, I hadn't been born yet. I was a few months before she gave birth to me. The second one, which is by far my favorite of the Star Wars movies, Empire Strikes Back, of course. She says that she took me, and I was 2 years old, and that we repeatedly went because my stepbrother kept wanting to go see the movie, and he would always beg my mom, please take me to go see Star Wars. So we did. Now the third one, I remember because I was old enough to actually see it in theaters, and I think that was the Christmas that I got nothing but Star Wars toys. I think actually there was a few Christmases that I remember receiving nothing but Star Wars toys, which was kind of cool. So, and then of course the prequels, which of course that's during my time. The first one I actually got to see a premiere when I was living in Hollywood, which is kind of cool. And then of course the other ones subsequently I saw in theater. So I have not missed a Star Wars movie, technically, because I was alive, technically, and I was in the theater, technically. So, I'm excited, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, this is the end. There's no more, Skywalker saga movies. But I am excited for the new trilogies that are coming out. I know Rian Johnson is working on one, which, again, this is something that divided the Star Wars fandom. Some people really liked Last Jedi, and some people didn't. I liked it. It wasn't, I think people were expecting it to be the Empire Strikes Back of the newer movies. And I never saw it that way. I never think of it that way. I think every film has its own merit. So, you take it and you enjoy it, or you hate it and then, you hate the whole franchise. I'm not that way. And I had an issue with that way back when David Tennant left, Doctor Who and Matt Smith took over. I had a big issue, and that ruined the fandom for me. And I've learned since to just enjoy it. Everything has its own merit. We should really enjoy it and just move on. Life's too short. So, so I'm excited to see what comes out, but I will know based on what people post on, Facebook and what they share with me, whether or not I should give this one, I mean, it is the last one, but there's so many. I prefer to just wait until December because I have so many thoughts going through my head about, Kylo and Rey and, the whole Skywalker thing. How is it going to come to an end? And Princess Leia, now that Carrie Fisher, is gone, how did they incorporate her? And does her story come to an end as well? Are we losing everybody from the original trilogy in this movie? So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on that. The other thing that I was very kind of a bit excited about, and this goes back to Doctor Who, and it has to do with a video I saw that was actually released about, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. Well, it was around October 11th. And it was from a YouTuber who had posted a video. And again, this is just rumors. And I've been on the hunt for any Doctor Who rumors because I've said it many times before, I'm not a big fan of Chris Chibnall. I don't like the way that he's kind of keeping everything under wraps, which is fine. He wants to keep things under wrap, but I think every other showrunner has enticed us, given us a little bit here and there, and not this kind of secrecy. I'm rebuilding the show, even though I had the balls to tell, Jane and Pitt Baker that their story sucked. And these are original classic Doctor Who writers who he himself in the 80s on live TV sort of ripped them a new a-hole, saying that their story sucked. Anyways, and I've said this a million times. I stand by it. I like Jodie Whittaker. I think she does an okay job as a doctor. She does a good job. She's not, Peter Capaldi, and I don't think anybody will ever be Peter Capaldi because that's my doctor. That's the actor I like, who I think envisions or has just that Doctor Who quality. And of course, David Tennant and, I'm not going to go all the way back to, all my doctors and name them all off again, but, like Sylvester McCoy. Anyways, I think she had a good, she was her doctor. She was the doctor, in her way. And we have to accept that, just like Colin Baker was back in the day, Patrick Troughton, everybody has their way of doing it. It needs a little bit more strength. I think that she does like a little bit of strength, and the doctor always had moments of strength, even, from Peter Capaldi on. There was always a moment of, I am the doctor, like with this bravado and this kind of, where you just know from them saying that, you don't want to mess with them type of attitude. With Jodie's doctor, it's a little bit harder to have that because she still hasn't had that badass moment, which I think we might get in season 12. We'll see. But anyways, this rumor was reported by a young man, in England who supposedly had some kind of, text message or email. I can't tell you the whole thing. I just saw this video a few days ago and I rewatched it again today to actually talk about it. But, story short, supposedly they are going to move on from Jodie and Chris, and that there is a Christmas episode being shot, but it's going to be for, in the 2020 where she will step down and everyone will be regenerating again. And Michael Sheen, who you might know from his, success in, Good Omens with David Tennant, will be stepping into the role because this guy who, this kid's talking about this guy who allegedly wrote him all this information that he learned from a guy at a bar when they were drunk, and he was showing him pictures of things they were doing for a new Doctor Who, and it had a concept of Michael Sheen as the Doctor and something that looked similar to what, Matt Smith wore. So again, grain of salt. These are just rumors. However, it is a very interesting rumor because I would love to see Michael Sheen as the Doctor. If you watch Good Omens, you know what I'm talking about. He has already that quality of the Doctor. Now, he recently had a child, so that also, you put into question, well, it's a year from now, he'll have a kid, about a year old, so it's plausible that he could step into the role if he's just only in England, So, I don't know. But if you Google, I think it's, just look up, my sources confirm that Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall are leaving in 2020. And it's very interesting because everything he says sounds very plausible, very believable. And I know that a lot of people will be excited about that, but we'll have to see. I don't know if this is true. Do I want it to be true? Yes. I think, again, I don't like this whole year off business. I don't think it actually does anything good for the show. I think it kills the show. when you have momentum with a show, you keep it going. You don't stop it, because you kill the audience. When people come back, they may or may not come back, and I think a lot of people aren't going to come back to Doctor Who until Jodie leaves. So the worst thing you could do is stop a show for a year and claim that it had to do with production. It didn't. I mean, a few people, actually, I think there was an award ceremony just a few days ago, and Jodie, I believe, and Mandip Gill had both said that they had just gone back to work because they were doing projects. So I think it's because they wanted to give the cast time to do their own projects, not because Doctor Who needs a whole year for 10 episodes. I think that's just dumb. And again, it's Chris Chibnall saying stupid things that don't make sense, because if Stephen Moffat can pull off 13 episodes, and that's with a Christmas episode in a year, in less than a year, in a few months, I think it doesn't need, you're not making a motion picture here. So we'll see. But if these rumors are true, then that means that the cast will be leaving in 2020, and we'll have a new Doctor, possibly sometime after that. And again, these are rumors. I mean, these rumors have been going around. And again, this is what happens when you kill a show for a year. People start coming up with, their own, rumors. And, again, this is their fault. They wanted to kind of play it this way. And yeah, I hope the rumors are true. But anyways, that's all I have for this week. We'll see what comes up next week.